No love, it makes sense. Carefree.
What's good? I don't know how long this is going to record because I don't have storage. But we here, and I'm really just tired of being, afraid to speak again. It's been a minute. Like I used to make videos all the time, and yeah, it was nerve-wracking, but I was in a different space, and it was just different for me then versus now, where I feel a lot more connected to myself, and I don't know why that feels scary. It's crazy, but either way, we here. And what's up? Peace. Hello. It is your girl, Asha Sawu, aka Coco the Connector. Connector, connect for, connect more. What's poppin'? I'm here. Yeah, and so I really want to just go ahead and start this YouTube channel off right, like consistently moving. I feel like honestly, throughout my years, I've just been piecing myself together. Coconut. I hope you can see me, and I hope you can hear me. This is my microphone, and we're back at the coconut part, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I just wanted to like release some downloads and heartfelt messages that I have received for myself, and I think for other people. So if you feel it, then it might be for you, and if you don't feel it, then it might not. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, girl. So when it comes to connection, I was saying, like, I'm Asha de Coco, coconut water. Connection of yeah, I've been like in meditation lately in regards to connection. Okay, so let me give you a little breakdown of my chart. I am a Libra connection. I'm a Capricorn moon, 7th house. 7th house is the house of Libra. I'm a Cancer rising, 7 degrees. I'm telling y'all my business if you know how to do it. For real, for real. And my sun, which is in Libra, is in the 4th house. So, and I also have in my 1st house, Chiron. Chiron. The wounded healer. So I'm really here to heal that relationship with myself and the connection that I have with myself. And then on the polar opposite of Chiron, I got like my Saturn, my moon, Uranus, and my 7th house. So also myself finding harmony in these connections that I build. And as we all do, we all have certain things that we learn here on Earth. And we just naturally share them, whether it's through our art, whether it's through our tantrums. There is a way that we communicate these lessons, whether we're actively working through them or subconsciously. It's same, one in the same. Two sides to the same coin, baby. Shim team. Um, so yeah, like I really am here for connection. I really had to deeply connect with myself. I feel like I did that right. Now I'm in the second house. My second house is obviously Leo. And I have Jupiter in my Leo. So my confidence and how I see myself is really matters. Like, it's not necessarily about how anybody else sees me, but me, and the formation of my life. And we all go through these little um, cycles of strengthening or letting go. You can call that weakening if you want. Of who we are and who we used to be. And I also realize I've heard a lot of talk in my life, honestly, about preserving the body. Even when we did not community, communion when I was growing up in like a Pentecostal holiness church, we had communion every Sunday. It was basically like preserving they say remembering Jesus, but it's really preserving that energy and kind of charging that energy up. And then you say in uh, in a lot of like ideologies or way of living or stories about higher consciousness, you see that they talk about preserving the body. And for me, I thought at one point of time like it only meant to preserve this physical body, but then it would kind of like confuse me because I'd be like, this body's gonna go. Like, I'm going to die one day, and this body won't be here. So it's like, preserve his body, and then you start thinking, like, of course you want to preserve this body because you do want to have a healthy lifestyle. And so my thought about that was to go vegan, and I'm no longer a vegan. I still am majority plant-based, and I don't really, I mean, I never, like, growing up, I never really ate meat like that. Like, chicken, I only ate the skin. I did love steak when I started working at a steakhouse when I got older. Even when my dad made ribs and stuff and steak on the grill, like that was bust down. But I don't really foresee myself eating red meat again. Maybe, I don't know. But either way, so I started out with preserving my body by that, and it's so much more than just your body. Because when we think about the oneness and we think about everything being a part of nature or a part of God or the Most High or all the beautiful names that we call the awareness of something bigger than just ourselves. It is something to be very much preserved and kept at a state of elevation. And not elevation in the sense of greater than, less than, but growth. Like when you see the trees, like it starts off as a seed, but it continues to grow until it bears fruit. And trees live for a very long time, especially when they're surrounded by a community of other trees, not necessarily the same exact tree, because that's not what community necessarily is, but it's multiple trees still giving off their energy to uh, help support other trees with their production. And so when I've been thinking about like preserving my energy and preserving my body and preserving my spirit, I kind of been separating each one of them. Like, oh, I'll preserve my body, but at the same time, I'm not really focused on my spirit. And when I was focused on preserving my spirit, I wouldn't necessarily focus. Well, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily focus on my body, but I think where it became very healthy for me is when I started to realize there is no disconnection, or there is only continuity. Like it's only a continuum of like body, mind, spirit, heart, and there is some cleansing and stuff that you have to do when your energy is not at its natural state, and that's perfectly fine. And that's not where the state of preservation is recognized. At least that wasn't for me. The state of preservation started to become more recognizable when I started really like honing in to myself. Like when I started to get intimate and really see my spirit and really see the state of my soul and the state of my heart and even the state of my mind. And my mind has been, what Joyce might say, it's the battlefield of the mind. Like maybe like beatboxing over here, but also realizing like everything that comes to your mind is not yours. Like the mind is the infinite, and it has so many things that can come into it that are not from this body, from this vessel, from this spirit. Because like I have been receiving is, we are the same essence, but the details are different. And that just goes to play in our fingerprints, in our astrology, and what we choose and how we choose to live. Like we can see that in some instances we are made up of the same thing, but everybody, and not saying everybody because I'm not necessarily a conspiracy theorist, because I just know what I know. I don't even, that's a whole nother topic. Let me not go there. But yeah, so it's like really being able to identify with who you are beyond the things that have played in your life. Like when we look at movies, we don't necessarily hold on to everything that happened in that movie because it's played and then it has turned off. And sometimes I feel like we, of course we can't really look at our life as a movie because it is seemingly happening to us, and those things affect our energetic imprint and how we allow ourselves to move based off of how long we hold on to it, what we hold on to, and how we process it in and out, or just inside of our body. And so like preserving that energy and really tapping into the self is very precious, because it also helps us to connect to connect with others, like genuinely, like within the details and indirectness. And